What's up, everybody? Hopefully you guys are doing good as always. Today I made a video about pawn breakthroughs. It's a very important strategical idea in chess, especially later on in the game, so I think that this video will be very valuable. Now I have an absolutely huge announcement to make. To help you even further in your chess journey, I decided to launch a chess website. You can find the link in the description below. Now note that this is a very new thing. I started it actually yesterday, so I assume that there will be some comments, some, constructive criticism, and I'm very happy to hear all of it. So if you have any comments on how I can improve it, or even positive things, then please either leave it in the comment section of this video, or there's a way that you can email me via the chess website. But please check it out and, tell me what you think about it, because it's a new thing and I really hope that it's as perfect as it can be for you. Anyways, thank you for listening and enjoy the video. The best way for me to explain what pawn breakthroughs are in chess is to show you this example on the screen. If you're playing as white, this looks like you're going to lose. If you try to walk over to your pawns and, protect them and save them, well, black can simply cut you off. Every move that you make, black will be able to play the according move and cut you off and just capture your pawns, and obviously black will be able to win. And it looks like if you're just looking at these pawns, there's nothing you can do. If you play this move, capture, I mean, you can always trade pawns, but ultimately black will be able to get to these 4 pawns here faster than you will be able to get, because black can just cut you off. But because of the idea of pawn breakthroughs, you can notice this very common pattern with 3 pawns facing 3 pawns with a space of 1 row in between. And if you know this pattern, you'll be able to recognize this move, which is just a wonderful move. And, from just looking at this position, there really seems nothing you can do. You can continue to just trade pawns, but that won't really help you. But if you play this move and then sacrifice another piece, notice that black has to take this pawn. Otherwise, you can take and promote. So black will have to take this, and then you can push your pawn, right? Because by playing this move, you've taken away the defender of this square right here. So now you can promote. And it's a wonderful move. And same thing happens if black takes this way. You can play this move, forcing black to take, and then promote on this file. So you can see that regardless of how black responds, you'll be able to promote faster and win the game. And this all ties down to the idea of pawn breakthroughs. Pawn breakthroughs are basically when you, play a move and sacrifice usually a couple of pawns, and by doing so, you've made it possible for you to make a pawn that will become, a passed pawn that will become a queen, and that will win you the game. And so a lot of times in chess endgames, there's, pawn structures that you have to break through. And a lot of times having a king that can, assist by capturing your opponent's pawns is very helpful. But even when that is not possible, there are still some pawn breakthroughs that you can do on your own, and you can sacrifice some pawns to get that one passed pawn that you really need to promote and win the game. Let me show you another example. Here is a more realistic example. You're playing as black, and the obvious threat is white capturing both of these pawns, then promoting the c-pawn and winning the game. And so you have to find a move that will, make you win the game faster than white can promote this pawn. And some people would say this move. You're trying to do a pawn breakthrough, trade a couple of pawns, and yes, if you manage to trade, this will be good. You can get this other pawn, and then trade these pawns, and then promote. This is wonderful, because this white king is very far from this black king and these pawns here. So although this white king can affect these pawns, it can have absolutely no effect on this side of the board. So that would be a wonderful, exchange for you. But the problem with playing g5 is the move h5. And now white has successfully closed down the position, and you can no longer really do breakthroughs with pawns anymore, meaning white will easily be able to take the advantage and win the game. So instead of g5, first you must play h5. And if white were to try to take the pawn, then you play g5. And now it's way better for you. After this trade here, even if white manages to take the pawn, then you once again have this move, and you can see that with simply playing h5 and then g5, you manage to force a pawn breakthrough, which obviously works in your favor. And the thing about pawn breakthroughs is that it involves a lot of calculation. You need to make sure that once you basically from this point, you need to calculate everything. You need to calculate these moves, that will allow you to gain the advantage and ultimately win the game, right? And obviously, in this case, it works in your favor. So you need to make sure that all your calculations are on point. And here, white can play that move. But even if white takes the pawn, there's nothing white can do at this point. They'll have to trade, and you'll promote faster than this pawn can promote and win the game. So make sure that even in endgames that it looks like you have no chance, because maybe your opponent's king is a lot more involved, you always have a chance if you have the ability to do pawn breakthroughs. So pawn breakthroughs are a very important idea in chess, and a lot of times pawns, they manage to build these structures for themselves. And so if you manage to interrupt your opponent's structure, a lot of times, even by sacrificing some pawns, it can work in your favor to make a passed pawn that's very dangerous and will win you the game. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you learned something from this video and found the information that I gave valuable. A couple of things I want to mention. First off, subscribe if you haven't already. And most importantly, please check out the website that I talked about in the beginning of the video. Obviously, it's a new thing, and so there will be some areas that I can improve on it. But that's why I want you to check it out. I want you to tell me where I can improve, how I can make it better. And overall, I hope that this will be something that you can use as a helpful tool to improve in chess. So, thank you for watching the video. Please check out my website, and I'll see you all next time.